The name is Dale, doing the movie review of Bad Times at the Royale. And I'm also going to do a recommendation/review on 3 Identical Strangers. These reviews and recommendations are done on behalf of Audio Liquor Mag, Audio Liquor Magazine. We're going to start off with Bad Times at the Royale. That's a motel/hotel. Looks more like a motel. And the movie's about 7 strangers, each that have a secret to hide, meet up at this rundown motel. And the motel itself has a dark past. So one fateful night, everything goes to hell when these 7 strangers happen to stay at this motel. And then people's dark secrets get exposed through the night. It has a great ensemble cast: Jeff Bridges, Dakota Johnson, John Hamm, Chris Hemsworth. I believe this lady's name is Cathra Evro. I'll probably butcher her name, but she's also going to be in this movie called Widows that'll be coming out later this year. It looks real good. And also, I believe she was cast to play Harriet Tubman in the bio film about Harriet Tubman. So she's doing big things right now. So I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name wrong. I couldn't quite remember what her name was. But the movie itself is a mystery/thriller. It's like a mix of Clue, the movie Clue, this movie called Identity that came out years ago starring John Cusack, which was like at a Motel 2. That was more like a horror joint. And it also has a little mixture of Hateful Eight, Quentin Tarantino movie. It has a Quentin Tarantino vibe to the movie itself, the way things go down, the way things are structured. It also has a kind of Broadway play feel to it. It almost feels like this could be a play in a strange and crazy way. And I say that because it's not a lot of violence, but it's violence in the movie itself. But it does have that play Broadway vibe to it. And I liked it. I didn't love it. I'm not as high on it as some people are, but I do like the movie. It has some unexpected deaths. I'm not going to spoil anything. I thought the end was kind of predictable. The conclusion anyway. I just didn't know how they would reach that conclusion, but I kind of seen about the middle of the movie, I kind of seen where it was going, where the end was going to go. I just didn't know how they would get there, if that makes any sense. I think the movie is worth seeing, but it's not a must see, if that make any sense. Like if you go to the movies and pay for it, you won't feel like you're wasting your time or money. But it's not something you have to rush out to go see. I will give it a B. I was leaning, is it a B plus, is it a B? So I'm just going to land on a B. It may be one of those movies, when I watch it again, I appreciate it more. It might get upgraded to a B plus once I see it again. But nonetheless, that's still a good grade. That's still a good movie overall. So I'm going to get into this recommendation of 3 Identical Strangers. It's a documentary. And it's a documentary that I heard good things about over the summer. It came out in the theaters over the summer, and the critics was raving about it, so I was very curious to see it. I rented it on DVD. Yes, I actually rented a physical DVD. I'm not sure if this documentary, 3 Identical Strangers, is on Netflix. I don't think so. I don't know if it's on any other streaming networks, but this is a must-see. The documentary is about, in 1980 in New York, 3 young men who were all adopted meet up with each other for the first time when they all are 19 years old, and they find out that they're triplets. And they were separated at birth. Then much later on, they discover why they were separated at birth. And it starts off great. These 3 identical twins, they meet each other. they have so much in common, even though they was raised in totally different households. You had one that was raised like in a more upper middle class home, one that was raised in like your typical middle class home, and then you had one that was raised like in a blue collar, lower class, middle class, if that makes any sense. So they came from 3 different backgrounds, but they all had these similarities. And it starts off as a feel-good story, how they meet, how they just gel, how they just do everything together, have a good time, and the families and all that. And then it just takes a real disturbing, dark turn, goes into why they were separated. I'm not going to spoil anything, but when they find out what really happens, is really devastating. And just another reason out of so many that I have no faith in humanity and the human race. So it starts off very joyful and happy, and then it just crashes into something real dark and sinister. So I definitely recommend it. I give it an A. I was even leaning to A+, but this is definitely a must-see. However you can see, check out this documentary. That's it. I'm done. I'm finished. There you go.